I think there are always so many moments that make us, the person that we are. It was a factory town that I grew up in, and I then spent much of my working career in a big manufacturing company. And so respect for working people and for the skills in all different kinds of jobs. And I've been curious about how people make a living and what they do at work since I was a little kid. And I ended up spending my whole career on that. So as I have thought about this next phase of my life, I have just a couple of questions, like how can I help? What can I learn? So those are two questions. And when I think about how can I help, it's do I have experiences that are relevant for the organization? The alignment of Kauffman and the focus on entrepreneurship, access to education, access to careers, and how I've spent my career is really strong. I grew up in a small town in rural Maine, and if I look back at my own life, I would say books were the beginning for me, right? I was that kid that read all the time, took every book out of the little tiny library in our little town. But if I really look and say, as an adult, what was the biggest thing that had an impact? It really was access to a great undergraduate education. And so when I think about it now, I'm very aware that access has only gotten harder. Equipping the next generation and equipping communities that have some barriers to access to opportunities for that future, to me, is something I'm really passionate about. And so how do we think about providing that same kind of launching pad for people that many people in my generation were able to create, for themselves? And I think it's really important that we figure out how to do that. The big risk for me, and it's true of large companies too, is insularity, right? You get insulated from your communities, and that's, the communities you want to serve, you need to be out there and listening, understanding the experience, just like companies need to understand their customers. You need to actually iterate your programs based on what you learn. Both companies I worked for were innovation powerhouses, iconic American companies, right? And they didn't start out big, they did start out powerful. Hewlett-Packard was started in a garage by a couple of people. So first of all, the Kauffman's focus on entrepreneurship, I think, is spot on when you think about innovation. And then what came through as I was learning more about Kauffman, and I live in Minnesota, is a good strong dose of Midwest humility, right? Midwest kindness in the organization and in their approach to each other and to the communities they serve. So it was a pretty easy decision when I had this wonderful opportunity to join the Board of Trustees to say yes.